All right, everyone. Hello and welcome back to another story recording behind the scenes with me, Visual Pony. Let's close this or minimize it. This is my second attempt of recording this because I got interrupted. Just drinking water right now because it is not in the budget to buy gas cylinders or syrup. And believe me, I hate it. Also, sorry if I'm seeming a little bit off, but I've had a little bit of trouble with my sick pay and my money that is supposed to come in and all that, so called them earlier, and if they do not pay up, then I might be without electricity or heating starting tomorrow. So there's that. Okay, let's start the recording. I think that's just an indicator for why we humans and ponies should not be. So yeah, it's cute story. I like it. And just see on their page here, they've been last online on the 8th of March, 2021. Yeah. So that was releases over a year ago, but still, give us some love. Give us some love. Maybe something back. I hope this video finds you well, buddy. I'm signing off. All right, and there we go with another recording in the bag. I personally, I'm a big fan of like just cuddly stories like this, because in times like we have right now, it is so important to keep your spirits up. And I think it's stories like this that really help with that. It's a relatively short one, as you can see, just barely over 1,000 words. But it's one of those where I say, you know, why the F not? Why shouldn't I read a story that is just utterly lovable and just gives me good feelings all over? I know that most people know me for stuff like Fallout Equestria and Fallout Equestria Project Horizons and all those grim dark stories. The thing is, guys, if you've ever listened to any of my comment times or whatever, you will know that me starting Fallout Equestria and Project Horizons and all of that, that was a fluke. That was an absolute fluke. And especially Project Horizons, because Project Horizons, one of my Patreons, fudged the voting. They voted on it, they posted it on Facebook and told all of their friends to vote for Project Horizons. Otherwise, you would have gotten the Lunar Cipher instead. Which you did eventually still get, but you know. And believe me, I am still a little bit sore about the fact that the vote was, you know, fudged with. Because that's not cool. I put a vote out for my patrons, and then you post that publicly to sway the vote. I don't agree with that. I don't like that at all. Especially since it basically almost killed me in the end. Or here, get this. There is this Patreon thingy where you can tell me to read a specific story or voice something for you if you know, are a specific tier patron. And I've had someone before, and I am pretty certain they're no longer a patron of mine, where they told me to read a specific story. I felt so dirty after reading that story. It was so bad that I now have the policy that I reserve the right to refuse even Patreon requests. Okay? because it is a really short story. Like overall, I think a little bit over 1,000 words or so. The problem with it is the writing. It's written in chat English. And it's written in a way as if like an 11-year-old that is just entering puberty saw one crop picture and then wants to create the ultra mega whatever edgy Twilight clone OC whatever and the story was, let's actually see if I can find it. I'm not okay. There it is. It is actually still up. Just look at that title. I'm not okay, I promise. A story about a pony who has to deal with society and all the other depressing things in her life. I'm going to try writing a story for My Little Pony because the show rocks as much as GC. And here you see my comment in 2018. I feel soiled for being paid to narrate this. They were last seen in the same year they released this story. But yeah, if you just look at how it's written, it's like, hi, my name is Night Black Hysteria Moon Star Sparkle. I live in Ponyville and run a gothic clothing store. And lick hot topic lol. I'm gothic and a loner, and only rely on my sister Twilight Sparkle for thanks. You see why I left this comment, right? It's just so horrible. It is just so horrible. That was the day where I was actually considering closing my Patreon and quitting YouTube altogether because I was like, the mental pain I had to go through to record this is not worth the pocket change that I earn. I literally was in mental agony reading that. I was in mental agony. I've seen people do like worst fanfiction challenges on YouTube where they try to narrate the worst fanfictions they can find and everyone has to narrate the same ones. But I don't think anyone has ever tried to do a challenge with this story. I feel sorry for the person who wrote it, you know, because very likely they were not a native English speaker and very likely very, very young. The problem is, if you look at this, how did this get through the mods on film fiction. How did that get through? Because I remember I had my very first story, Children of the Night. I had that refused by film fiction because of grammar and spelling mistakes, including formatting. And then if you look at stories like this, you're like, how? How did that get released? I mean, sure, I don't mind you having a super edgy OC that's apparently the sister of Twilight Sparkle or whatever. Really, I don't care. Couldn't care less. But at least, please write it in a way that is not killing every single brain cell in my head. Trying to make sense of what you're writing, you know? Seriously, that was now a little bit over 3 years ago, and I still have to say that this was the worst fan fiction I have ever narrated. And after that, I put it in place that, you know what? You sent me the fan fiction you want me to read, I will have a look at it. But if it's shit, then I will not hesitate to say so and refuse to narrate it. Because that is the thing, guys. This story is also the reason why I have put in place that vetting process, so that I at least take a look at the story before I narrate it. Even in stories where I say, hey, I haven't reviewed this yet. Yes, I haven't read it in these stories, but I have at least, opened up the chapter, looked inside and seen, is the writing okay, is the grammar okay and all that. Because I don't want to have a situation like that ever again. So if you guys recommend stories to me, then all of these stories will go through that vetting process. And yes, I do actually take a look at, like when you're posting something and tell me to take a look at a story, I do actually take a look at it. It's not like I don't. And then it ends up on this list that currently has over 400 stories on it. They have all been vetted, and they might all come in the near future. Though some of them very likely not, because quite a few of them are actually clop. And I'm sorry, but I'm very careful when it comes to adult content now. Since I did have a clop channel at some point, that, believe it or not, outdid this channel here in performance, even though there were only like 5 or 6 videos on that. But the performance was just wow. The sub count was soaring. It had overtaken this channel in terms of sub count in a matter of, I think, 2 weeks. And income from that channel was seriously good. And let's put it like this, I do not violate any terms of service with, clop stories, because I'm not showing anything sexual. I am narrating something sexual. And yet that channel got removed by YouTube for supposed community guideline violations. So I'm very careful when it comes to content like that, simply because, you know, getting a community guideline strike would really screw my day. And limit our ability to upload, which is another problem. I mean, we could technically still use the old brand account, which is simply Visual Pony Audiobook Productions, or Visual Pony the Narrator, but then YouTube would likely crack down on us even more, because YouTube has it in their terms of service that while you are being punished for a guideline strike, you're not allowed to use any other accounts or stuff. And if they catch you, you will be permabanned. And let's face it, guys. We are an awesome community here, but we are very, very small. Compared to other YouTube creators, even other creators in the YouTube pony space, we are tiny. And if YouTube were to decide, hey, that Pony&Wolf Productions thing, yeah, we should remove that from our platform, and there's nothing we can do. They would simply remove us. And no matter how much of a stink we would try to raise, it wouldn't amount to anything, because we are such a small channel. If we had like 100,000 or 500,000 subscribers, then maybe, but that will very likely never happen. Which I find a little bit sad, to be honest. Because which other YouTube creator in the pony space can say that they have as much content as we do? I think there are not a lot that can. And we do actually do quality control, as you can see every time you watch one of these behind the scenes videos. And what really saddens me is that sometimes there are people who have really barely any quality control. Like there's no music, no sound effects. They keep their fan noise in the back and all that. And they have like 40,000 subscribers. So I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What are we doing wrong? Is there something that we did to deserve being sidelined? I don't personally think so. But apparently the YouTube overlords do. See, I find it just a little bit weird, and I don't begrudge them their subscriber count or view count, don't get me wrong. And I respect everyone who is brave enough to put themselves out there. But I just kind of have to question the algorithm and people's tastes sometimes when you have someone who, like, you have their AC in the background every time they speak, they have no music, no sound effects, no whatever, and they have like 40, 50,000 subscribers. And then we filter everything out. Sure, our production time is a little bit longer because of it, but we add music, we add sound effects, we try to have good voice acting in it to make the story come alive, because that's kind of our thing. And our videos don't get recommended, our videos don't get really viewed. See Dash groaned loudly into her pillow. I really don't begrudge anyone their sub count. Everyone has done something to deserve their sub count, you know? But you have to wonder. I'd be able to tell her if what she was feeling was normal. She was also her best friend. Twilight it was. Rainbow Dash raised her hoof to the door, wrapping Gin. Yeah, and as I said, I do not begrudge anyone their subs. Seriously. If you say Rainbow Dash raised her hoof to the door, rapping gingerly on the door a few times, then you don't know me at all. Gingerly on the door, her hoof to the door, rapping gingerly on the door a few times. There were a few seconds of silence, and the man began to ponder whether Twilight was. Come in! A voice came from inside, smiling, and she tenderly opened the door. Found herself smiling, and she tenderly opens the door, greeting her friend.
Hey, Twi!
Rainbow smiled. Twilight returned both the
This book?
Twilight asked,
Oh gosh, I must have read it 100 times.
in an attempt to see what she had been reading before she entered the room. She questioned her friend.
I must have read it 100, or rather, the magic of magic.
Rainbow Dash giggled a nozzle, who of
Twi!
Twilight immediately closed her book and turned to face her.
Of course!
The sign made all of the courage she had.
Well, do you ever, like, you know when you, like,
Dash began. Spoke.
Try.
Dash began. Let's see. Come on, little PC. Oak.
Try.
Dash.
You ever you know when you you're okay.
She began.
It started a few weeks. I got in bed, and after a few minutes I wasn't tired anymore.
Twilight tilted her head to the side, offering her friend a look of confusion.
I didn't quite catch that, Rainbow. It was like I needed some to cuddle with or
Rainbow Dash shrank. God, it was so uncool. The go-lucky, the pony, the Rainbow Dash was terrified of being judged, terrified of
God, I'm such
her clothes. Follow.
You're right.
Rainbow Dash gasped.
What?
You are a freak. You might. Nuzzling deeply and affectionately into her neck.
You're right.
Rainbow Dash gasped.
What?
You are a freak. You're my freak.
That's why I love you, Rainbow. You're so unique. Every single aspect of you I absolutely adore.
And now let's put this song in, and I think then we're done. I'm constantly checking the time because I also have to go. I need to go to an appointment for my back. Wrapped her hoofs around the purple mare's neck, pulling her close into her neck.
You're right.
Rainbow Dash gasped.
What?
You are a freak. You're my freak.
That's why I love you, Rainbow. You're so unique. Every single aspect of you I absolutely adore. Apart from your ego.
She whispered that last part jokingly and gave her friend's ear a loving lick. Did she mean it as a friend? In this moment, with her best friend. She gave in.
Try, I love you.
I love you too, you silly Pegasus. The pair lay. They eventually had to part for air, though, and the two resumed their cuddling. Rainbow Dash wrapped her hoofs around the purple mare's neck, pulling her close and savoring her unique and intoxicating scent.
Try? I meant it, you know. When I said I loved you, so did I.
Hello and welcome back. And done. It's just... oh, that's so cute. Let's go to the creator home. Oh, there's no cover image for it, so... And there we go. Now we only need to tweet about it, and then we're done. And there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I really have to run now because in 1 hour I have to be at my physiotherapy appointment. I don't want to be late. And I hope that this video finds you well in body and mind. And we see each other then. Bye bye.